how much time are you devoting to training? Like, how do you go from the level that you were at to the level that you're at now in such a short time frame?
Yeah, that's a great question. It surprised me too, because I never thought from day one, zero experience with firearms, to a year later, being on top of the podium in the women's tactical division at nationals. That never crossed my mind. But I really do have to give most of the credit to Ivan. He really did. Like I do. Yeah, my background is fitness, but I wasn't as fit as I am now by any means. So I have put in double the work in the last few years to get to where I am now. And from that aspect, it's a lot on me. I've always been dedicated in that aspect of my life, but Ivan from day one taught me everything I know about competitive shooting. I honestly haven't taken classes from anyone else, any other training courses. It's all been him.
If it
Um,
ain't broke, you know what they say.
exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly, like he truly believed in me from day one. I remember after my very first competition, a couple of days later, he texted me, and I saved this message in my phone for the whole year. And he doesn't know this, but it said it said, "I believe you have what it takes, and I'm willing to take you as far as you want to go." And like that's all I needed was just like one person to believe in me that much. And if there's anyone I didn't want to let down more than myself, it was him. I always tell him like I just don't want to let you down. So I'll never be able to thank him enough for the amount of time that he devoted to helping me train. Because any chance I got, I was texting him like, "Can we train this weekend? Can we train during the week? You know, tell me what days you have off." So I know he lost sleep a lot to put in those hours with me.
Ivan, what'd you think when when Katie first came to you? Like, did you have any idea that she would be where she's at now?
I'm being completely honest with you. I did. There was just something. It was. I don't know how to explain it. It's like when you see something, you're like that. It's there. Whatever it is, she had it, and I just knew it needed to be kind of like tweaked, right? Just be taught the technique because I can tell you, like Katie is the one that gets me training. She's the one that gets me in the gym. I'm afraid to lose to her because it's
Yeah.
and she'll get me sometimes, and she knows it, right? So she's just insane. Her work ethic, her ability to, if I tell her, hey, just do this, she applies it on the spot. And I've taken that to build myself, my fitness, my shooting, the way I teach, the way I learn. A lot of it is kind of revolved around like, what would Katie do? If we can make T-shirts, let's put Katie's face on it. But yeah, I knew pretty early on, just watching her battle with herself. Her shooting wasn't great, but her drive to just be there on frigid mornings or like the blistering heat, she was always there. To the point Katie kind of touched on this, like with my schedule, like I'm on call a lot for two different teams. So a lot of the times when I would train her, I'd be coming off 16-hour shift. I'd wake up, 2 hours of sleep, train her, go back at it again. But it was kind of that drive that she had to be the best. And I truly think that in my eyes, she's the best, but we gotta show it on the actual leaderboard.
Yeah. But if she's not training that day, it's not because she didn't ask to go train that day. It's because you're at work or what. Yeah. That's great. Because, a lot of people that we coach or whatever, you sort of have to motivate them. Well, it sounds like that's not a problem with Katie. She's going to be ready to go out there, and it's going to be up to you to wake up, after a short night's sleep or whatever the case is. But that's awesome. I wonder, and either of you can answer this, or both of you. I wonder if it was beneficial, Katie coming to you already super fit, but not having having a blank slate when it comes to firearms, because Katie's not having to unlearn stuff, and Ivan, you're not having to break her of old habits type of thing. I mean, do you think there's any validity to that idea that maybe her not having experience with firearms could have actually been beneficial?
Yeah, I'll let Katie kind of speak from her perspective first, because I have thought about this a lot, and then I want to actually touch on the actual coaching perspective.
Yeah, I definitely think that set me up for success is just not having any prior experience. So I was a completely blank slate and just completely open to learning whatever it was that he was teaching me. There was never a point that I like questioned really what the techniques or drills or anything. I was just kind of like take what he told me and practice that, and it worked. So I think being a blank slate and just completely open to learning something new was certainly helpful.
You're describing the best student. Like everybody hopes that we get a student with that mentality. So yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't ask for a better student. But uh, from the coaching perspective, this is where it's been a journey for me, right? Because you have someone like Katie that you tell her do this, she's going to do it. So for me, the stress is, am I giving her the most up to date information? Am I teaching her the proper technique? Have my techniques been pressure tested and vetted? And I have changed the way I shoot, how the way I view shooting, the concepts that I thought were foundational. I know now to be categorically false. So my shooting progression has changed a lot based on, because if I'm going to tell Katie to do something, then I need to make sure. And when I started Ortac and I met Katie, it was like that hybrid approach. Like I just started competitively shooting, and a lot of my training came from law enforcement. And like you wear the heavy uniform, right? Like you are SWAT because you wear this uniform, or you've been part of the best units on your department. And to me, like that uniform needs to be earned every day. But I was stuck in this trap of like, well, the only shooting I know is from the police world, and now that I'm being tested competitively, I'm not doing this because I think I should. So those are the techniques I kind of had to study on my own. I learned from the greats up there, like all the YouTube names. I read up on a bunch of books on shooting. I went to all my local competitions, whether it was USPSA, PCSL. I signed up for a bunch of tactical games. I kept pressure testing these techniques, and I'm always out there on the range. Like if I was coaching Katie for 2 hours, I was out there for 6 hours trying to make sure that what I'm passing along is valid. And it's been very cool to see that it has. I mean, Katie's first year of competition, I like to say this, like Katie's never known defeat. Um, she played herself one time, and I'll let her get into that if she wants to. But as far as her competitive career, like she's always been at the top, and I think that's to me that's where I want to keep her. So when I think about training and concepts, I want to stay up to date on everything I'm passing along.